So there was a small international team of neuroscientists and psychologists who tested a carefully selected and diverse group of 329 participants. Doesn't seem like a lot. Between the ages of 18 to 52. The scientists surveyed their slightly tipsy test subjects and stone-cold sober control groups across 5 broad categories of moral
Oh, I hate when we get morbled.
moral fiber, like care, fairness, loyalty, authority, and purity. But only 2 were loosened up by that stiff drink.
Odd choice of photos.
Drunk people want to do more immoral things than sober people, one of the study's authors said. We only observed it for 2 types of behaviors related to harming others and related to so-called purity violations. Those who were given alcohol were found to be 4% more likely to consider harming another person or animal, nearly 7% more likely to engage in impure acts with an animal. No, I didn't say that. Okay.
Brits, because
This is what's crazy. For the questions they asked these people, for the care category, the question that most divided the participants was whether or not they would kick a dog in the head hard. What? In quotes, kick a dog in the head hard.
This isn't a drunk issue. This is your sociopath issue. Whiskey or not.
For the purity question.
okay.
They asked the test subjects whether they would get a blood transfusion of 1 pint of disease-free, compatible blood from a convicted child molester.
What kind of question?
And that's the purity question.
I mean, after one shot of anything, you get lost in that second question by the end of the sentence.
There was more than one shot writing this. Where did this come from? The Post?
Mad Libs.
Daily Mail.
Daily Mail.
So it's
Wow. That is surreal.
Yep. Another question, would you stick a pin into the palm of a child you don't know?
Oh, well, we
Like
all
that.
do that. Yeah. I
A
mean,
pin is nothing. A pin
just to
is
see how they react.
It's not
They
a-
gotta learn.
That's where Bill Maher and Ricky Gervais say, yes, then I don't need the drink.
All right.
Famously anti-kid.
So, Matt, I gotta know. You have an old fashioned. Are you more inclined to kick a dog in the head hard?
I mean, when you kick a dog or when you think about kicking a dog, it's not the head, right? It's it's kind of like the chest. You
Fair.
don't want to get the limbs because, those are skinny. Like, you want to get where the meat is so that you're not doing much harm. But also, you don't want to kick a dog. I just like the idea that we're going to spend money. And 4%, 7%, pretty small.
Yeah.
If we're being honest. That drinking makes you want to punch and fuck. I mean, that's really never
we
heard
have
about
a segment called Duddies.
Yeah.
I think I had it out of the email just because Welch reminded me that this was indeed a Duddy when we sent the stories because none of this. The questions surprised me. The reactions about.
How do I work for, a study company and help them write questions?
Yeah.
So there it is. Does study. I like the one with Gino on the board there. Do men think about sex more than women? And then a nice little fun hand thing there. All of it's obvious. Yeah, this is the kind of intellectual stuff you're missing at noon, people. I don't think I've ever been in a fight sober. Maybe I've been attacked sober. That's definitely happened. But there is something, and I don't know if it's true or not, if it's a old wives' tale. I've always felt that there is something about the brown liquor that gets people a little more unruly, perhaps with a fight ending it, than with any other type of booze. But that's probably is.
Or is it just the people who are drawn to brown liquor? Because I would think
Chicken egg.
Yep.
Gotcha.
with more with brown liquors, you sip them. But like the clear shit,
True.
I'm not sipping on a warm vodka. That's going right down.
Yeah.
But like you can sip on a whiskey.
We were up in Browning, Montana, making a movie with my ex, my daughter's father, my late ex, and it was up on the reservation, Blackfeet Reservation. But we used to go off the res a bit, and there was a bar. I can't remember what it was called. It might have been in Cutfoot. Anyway, every time we went to that bar, there was a fight, and it got to the point when we got there, I would sit in the back corner on a stool because I knew within 20 minutes people were going to be throwing chairs and hitting each other.
There's a special kind of
in my
stress.
experience, that was brown liquor.
Okay. Now, was this like a local spot?
It was a local
know
spot.
each other?
Yes, it's a, yes, and of course, so like you've been fighting with the same guy since 7th grade, right? Or you
Yeah.
did this to my sister, and this and that. It just
Sounds
and it would-
delightful. I want to
started
go.
out fine. Like people would be in there, be drinking, and within 20 minutes, just there was chairs are flying. It wasn't just natives in there. It was like natives, locals. It was just a.
I've never been in a
fighting
situation where actual movie cliched chairs are being thrown.
Chairs, and I.
Were they breaking over people's backs comically, like balls?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was like.
And the guy barely shrugs.
Ooh, there was like sound effects and everything. No, and then
Boom.
the candy glass window thrown through. Yeah.
What year did that sound stop in movies? The punch in the face. That's
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Every punch in Raiders sounded like a shotgun, and I loved it. But and they used the same sound effect for every movie.
and the Bond movies in the '70s were all like slap
Yeah.
punches and stuff. Man.
Great. But yeah, there's just something about. It also goes back to the whole: are you a fun drunk or a mean drunk? Mean drunks, whether it's liquor or beer or whatever, any type of fighting tendency they have, it's just exacerbated immediately, and it doesn't even need to necessarily be drunk. Just
See,
a
I think the
little
reason why you get punched when you're drunk is that the inhibition that is broken down is the part in you that sober would say, okay, that guy's being an asshole. If I just do like this,
Yes.
then I'm not. Nothing's going to happen. But then you're like I'm going to find a little thing to say to him to make him want to come over and punch you in the.
I turn
parking
into
lot.
a little mouthy broad. Yeah, and yeah, it's just that other cliche of like it's you got the drunk there's no more drunk or there's no more cowardice because you're drunk and you do things you normally wouldn't do.
I am only more likely to eat pizza.
When you're because you.
A riddle wrapped in an enigma.
That's really about the only thing that like booze. I'm like, God, I really could go for some cheese on bread right now.
Or you just eat like the whole bag of potato chips or pretzels.
Yes.
Not that I know anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that. Well, yeah, you're just a drunk eater. That's your munchies.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, Nancy, have you ever gotten into a fight, drunk or otherwise? Most women haven't.
I broke a chair once.
You are a movie person.
Yeah, I did. I got
What?
I got mad. We had been drinking definitely too much. You see, here was my issue, right? So my husband was
I've never seen the side of you.
husband's 6'5", his best friend was 6'5", and we would all hang out. We were actually on Kauai at the time. And they can drink a lot. And I'm kind of keeping up. I can't drink that much, but I was giving it the old college try, and I don't know what they did. They made me mad, and we had a rental, an Airbnb, and I took this patio chair and threw it off the porch, and it broke. And then we spent like half of the rest of the trip trying to find the like same patio chair like all over Kauai, which we couldn't. So we just like you're
Did you
like.
try to hit someone with it, or you just
No,
wanted to
I just-
express
I was
your?
just-
Hulked out.
No, I wasn't throwing it at anybody. I was just, and it broke.
Wow.
And they were like, Nancy, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know.
That I'm oddly turned on right now. That is a side of you that I have never seen.
I haven't done that again.
chair made a
or
pass at you.
before.
How dare
That's
it.
right. He grabbed my boob. No, I'm not proud of that.
And then I love that the solution was to do the same thing you would do to a child whose goldfish just died. Try to buy one that looks exactly like it.
We did. We tried. I think we failed. But anyway,
I'm impressed.
thank you.
I wish you kind of had that rage in you.
I've never
Totally even keeled.
I've never hit anyone in my life. I've never punched anyone in my life.
Ain't like the movies. Invariably, you're going to break
I
something.
would
on your
injure
hand.
myself
Oh, you absolutely would.
trying to
I pushed people off me
Sure.
for sure, but like throw a punch. I don't know how to throw a punch, and I kind of would like to know how.
I hear it's in the hips. Is that wrong? It is. Okay.
Yeah, the strongest punches only travel 6 inches.
Really? Oh, I love that.
Start with your if you're right-handed, they start with your right heel. It's like a weight transfer in baseball, right?
Yeah.
The best check swing happens even before
That's
you
how
move
you
your
swing a
hand.
bat?
Yeah, you move.
I don't know any of this.
Yeah, you turn like the whole system turns, and your hips turn, and your legs turn, and then at the end, boop.
Okay.
Done.
Now, how do I hit a golf ball?
I have no fucking idea. First of all.